fabulous because it is now Aquarius season. So happy birthday to my Aquariuses. And I'm getting started here with my first reading for 2021. I am a little behind schedule, but the beginning of the year was actually very busy for me. There was a lot of stuff shifting and changing for me. So glad to be back. We are getting started with the Wildwood Tarot. It was my first ever tarot deck, so first reading of the new year, starting with the first tarot deck, and same thing for my oracle deck. Over here, it was my first oracle deck, so I just kind of felt nostalgic and brought out some of this stuff. So let's see what's going on. Oh, hey, that one popped out immediately for you. Look at that. This owl spirit. Number 43. That was weird. When I just said something about number 43, it was like I was at the DMV and someone just called my number to come up to the desk. So that's kind of coming through for you. 43 equals a 7. It's not really what it's focused on right now. It definitely says you see clearly now. Okay, it wants me to say that earlier today I was, wow, okay. It wants me to tell you all kinds of cool stuff. So earlier today, I woke up from a dream and it felt like my spirit baby was trying to get in contact with me. And it was directing me to a particular crystal. And so I was meditating with that crystal later after I got done with my work today. And while I was meditating, I did see at one point a purple owl in my head. And it's bringing me this conversation to tell you because that's part of this message of you see clearly now, Aquarius. You might, it's implying that you have just had a personal upgrade in your third eye chakra and especially in some of your gifts and abilities. And it's kind of bringing up the fact that there was the ongoing joke that when the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction was happening, and we entered the age of Aquarius, that we were all about to get an upgrade and become like superhumans in a way. And that's what it's saying. And let me just say that Aquarius, like, that pretty much legit happened to me. Of course, in our own magical interpretations of that, but I mean, I legit had an experience around the Great Conjunction there in December and in the following days, and I definitely had spirit come through and tell me about some of my own gifts and show me my upgrades and like literally show me a whole new universe and way of seeing. I've literally been kind of upgraded and taught lately about like infrared vision, ultraviolet light vision. Like they've been showing me that, you know, there's all kinds of ways of seeing, and being a psychic empath and being a Reiki healer and stuff like that. Like there's definitely an inner type of vision that exists, and that is definitely through your third eye and crown chakra. There's so much emphasis up here. There's also emphasis on this high heart and throat chakra here. And like, it's like you see with both of these things. You see with your heart and with your opinions and through your self-expression, and you see through that wisdom and divine downloads, excuse me, from spirit. There's some energy clearing through all of this right now, definitely through that throat chakra. And it just said like state your truth, like state your truth. And it wants me to just say like straight up, like there are some strange experiences that I have as a psychic empath, as a Reiki healer, as a dreamer, as an astral projector, and all kinds of things. And it's just really bringing this message out right now because Aquarius, you might have really stepped up into some of that, and it said power, and you might have really stepped up into some of that power. And you really see clearly now what you're capable of. And it's like, it just said it blew something out of the water. It was like there was something that just got blown out of the water for you. It like blew your mind. It's showing me all the colors on this oracle card. And that's where it's like the rainbow was shown to you. Like, that's what I mean, like spectra vision. Like, you can just see the spectrum of light and vision in a whole new way. Beautiful. It's coming out of the tarot to continue or lead that message. This one's kind of popping. Okay, it just gave me a song to kind of, yeah, it said, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. It's very much implying this is a past energy for you, Aquarius, or that it's definitely on its way out. This is the Endurance card, 5 of Stones, 5 of Pentacles. Definitely about being out in the cold, kind of feeling like you're on your own without protection or shelter or a lot of resources, a lot of money. But that's where it was just saying, like, you see clearly now. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. So this is implying that this is more of a past energy, that you have already endured the coldest, darkest. It is okay. It's also just bringing up winter. It's saying, like, you've endured the coldest, darkest days of the year already, too. So it's kind of bringing up also, like, seasonal depression in a way. How when it's wintertime and it gets dark and everything, we can all kind of slip into a little bit more of the moody blues in a sense. And that's a band, Moody Blues, so it's kind of bringing that up too. But that's what it's just basically saying, is like there was some dark moments. It's not like a whole dark night of the soul type deal. It was just like, it was kind of rough there for a minute, right? But you can see clearly now the rain is gone. So it feels more optimistic. Aquarius, your reading's definitely feeling good. Ooh. I love how the devil card. Aquarius. Oh, hold up. This is just funny as shit. I just want you to, it wants me to inform you that in a more traditional tarot spread, like a Celtic cross spread, when a card lays down like this and then a card lays across it, this is usually the card, it's literally the cross, right? A cross can be protection and good stuff, and a cross can also represent an obstacle and a roadblock. And the fact that the devil card just fell out on top of this, and we were talking about how it was a past energy, and you can see clearly now, it's like literally, it's like you identified what the obstacle was, what the devil was, and went in a sense. It does want me to say, though, that in this deck, this is not necessarily the devil, it's the guardian. And the guardian is more of, how do I like say it? It's a challenge that you must face and pass, because you have to get through the door behind him to continue on your journey. So it's more of like a test in a sense. And it's not just a test of whether you pass or fail. It's about strengthening you in a way, right? This shows you, it's saying that this is almost like a mirror in a sense. It showed you all the parts of yourself that were blocking you and challenging you, showed you the devil in yourself that was standing in your own way and blocking your own way. But it did very much imply that it was like a person in your life that you identified as a devil, as someone that was holding you back, right? And you had to endure that a lot for a while. And that's where it's just kind of saying this was really blocking you. And you've kind of gotten past that and seen through that. And putting it here, it's like these skeletons are beneath you now in a way. It's like you have vanquished it in a sense. That was good. But like, what's coming up? Because I mean, I'm getting all this past energy in this reading. And so there's part of it where it's like you are still kind of dwelling on that stuff a little bit. There is some of this still here, just a tad. You're kind of reflecting on it though. It's more of like, you've been crowned with the wisdom of 20/20 vision in the sense, past vision, you know, hindsight. That kind of stuff. So what's coming up? Like, what's present, right? What is present for you? All right. What's present is a challenge, this Two of Stones. These hairs are fighting for dominance. And it's actually two feminine, so it's like two women fighting for dominance. It doesn't have to be about women. It doesn't have to be about two females or feminine anything. But it's just kind of, it's just funny because it's not the men that are fighting, right? It's the women in this card that are fighting in a sense. And this is a Two of Pentacles, so it can sometimes be about money. That's where it's like territory and breeding grounds and stuff for these animals. So there's a little bit of that. But it's also, again, kind of fighting yourself for some of you. Because like I said, it's like some of you recognize this within yourself. It's not so much an external person as it is something within yourself that's blocking you. And so there's a challenge, and it's kind of bringing up willpower in the sense of like affirmations and making a habit of something. Like that's how you can face this challenge. It's like you have to start setting better boundaries and creating better habits and balancing things in a better way to avoid this challenge. But that's part of the challenge because it's really hard to break bad habits, right? It's really hard to break bad habits, and that's where you're fighting yourself. And even if this is about another person, that's where it's like maybe you have a habit of always kind of finding this type of energy in a sense, and maybe you're trying to change that. Because that's where this Blasted Oak comes in. Now, this is a tower and a traditional deck. In this one, it's a little bit of a combination of like the Hanged Man and the Tower. This guy was previously tied to this tree, meaning that he couldn't move and change his ways or do anything about it, right? But then once the destruction kind of comes in, this lightning bolt, this shock of wisdom, you can see things clearly. It throws him from the tree, but it simultaneously unties him. Right? And that's the whole thing, is it's like this, whatever this kind of past energy was, it definitely shook you a bit, shook you out of this tree, but it also untied you and set you free. And that's where perhaps you were able to overcome this obstacle, this person, this energy within yourself, these bad habits. And now you're looking at this and you're kind of facing this challenge head on instead of just kind of enduring it, right? And notice that dichotomy there of just kind of sitting alone and enduring it and really facing it head on. And that's the thing, is this doesn't have to be negative, and the Tower certainly doesn't have to be negative. In fact, this is one of the better Tower cards out of all my decks because it at least gives you a little bit of hope of showing you that you've actually been set free by this act of destruction in a way. And so there's a nice little promise coming through here, Aquarius, about the fact that it's like you've been set free in a way and you're ready to face up to a challenge. Let's get one more card for you. What's the final card for Aquarius here for this reading? Sum things up. Four of Vessels, boredom. It just said the things we do when we are bored. That's part of this Tower. That's what I mean. There's part of these bad habits. The green and this card's kind of matching up with this. And there's, yeah, there's a message here about like the things you do, the people you choose, the habits you make when you are bored. And with this person staring over here is pointing out this is like a cycle that you've noticed, right? And that's where the Tower is. It's like you recognized and saw a cycle that you kept repeating. And in your boredom, in your uncontentedness at times in life, as we all get, You have possibly chosen people, places, or things that aren't that positive for you, right? Instead, they're codependent and addictive. They're the devil energy. They actually, in a way, hold you down. When you thought you were free before, you were actually tied to a tree. These things hold you down. And after making this recognition, possibly through a fight, possibly through some challenge, wisdom struck down. Now you can see clearly. And it literally is bringing me back to what I was first saying on this oracle card. Some of you guys, this might have been literally something that shocked you so much that it opened up some of your gifts, some of your intuition and your insight. And that would not, that's part of like spiritual awakening for sure. When you go through a spiritual awakening, when something really kind of cracks you open sometimes or challenges you, spirit will come down and bless you with the wisdom that you need, and you open up your gifts a lot. And it was a very powerful time here in the past couple of months, Aquarius. So that's really what it sounds like. It's like you just awaken to people and things, including yourself, and how some of the choices you've made in life during this type of energy of being completely bored, you were just looking for something to kind of like entertain you in a way, and it's actually really harmful to yourself, because you just always end up back at this card, and you always end up back with this energy, and you always end up back at this challenge, and then you always kind of repeat something. So that's where it's like, let's break the cycle, right? Let's get out of this boredom energy for sure. And on the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Bows, which is talking about like some distance. It also talks about dreams, though. Definitely talks about mysticism with this particular Knight of Bows. But it can definitely talk about some things popping off unexpectedly. So it's like stay sly and stay swift in a way. And that's where the distance thing comes in. It's like maybe you need to take some distance away from people and situations that you usually lean to. Take some time to yourself and see what happens naturally when you try to change your habits and your ways. And it wanted me to add there at the end, and it said, because some people aren't going to like when you try to change your ways, right? But you need to do what's healthy for you. And that's where a fox can be very much, in a way, its own little, like they have packs and stuff, but a fox can very much just go be on its own. And that's where it needs you to be right now with that energy. It's to like just go be yourself and go have some distance from other things that are influencing you, because you're waking up and you're recognizing patterns, and you need to have a space and a time in which to establish and explore new habits and patterns, right? That's what I got for you, Aquarius. Very nice. Not too bad. It was feeling pretty positive, so I do feel like you're on the upturn from this, but I feel like it's just time for a new path kind of altogether, right? Yeah. All right. Let me know how it resonates in the comments, and I hope to see you guys again very soon. Thank you.